Dozens of volunteers are coming forward to talk about what they witnessed during the 2020 election. OAN America's Christina Bobb spoke with Republican poll worker Christian Cushman and has more from Detroit.
Christine Cushman, you were a poll worker here in Detroit during the 2020 election. What was your experience like?
I was at a table. I was with four other workers, and one of the first things that came over the PA in the morning once everybody settled in was, if you're a Republican, raise your hand. And at least on my side of the room, I saw maybe 3 other people raise their hands besides me. And they said that they needed more Republicans to work at the adjudication stations because that has to be 1 Republican and 1 Democrat. So it appeared that they didn't have enough Republicans.
You noticed, or you said that there were about 3 others besides you. How many people were in the room altogether? About?
Oh gosh, there's 5 at every table, and there's something like, 300, 400 boards.
So you were outnumbered hundreds to 1.
Oh, definitely.
That's astonishing. What was the atmosphere like?
Our table, we were all very friendly. I was the only Republican at my table. We got along great. We had a lot of stories, and we had no issues from anything. I mean, they knew I was a Republican, obviously, right from the get-go. But there was a lot of tension in the room. When challengers would come around and try to get close to see what we were doing, the supervisors would keep telling them they had to be 6 feet away. And I told my supervisor, I said, that was thrown out in a court case just a few days ago. They don't have to be 6 feet away. And she said, we're still going with 6 feet.
And were Republican challengers successfully able to challenge?
At my table, there were no challenges, so I didn't see that personally, although a couple tables down, when they were trying to duplicate some ballots, again, they need a Republican and a Democrat to do that, and the challengers were challenging them that there wasn't a Republican, and somebody actually came up to me and said, "You're a Republican, right? Can you come to this table and duplicate?" And I went over there, and the supervisor said, "We don't need you, go away, get back at your own table."
So they didn't have any Republicans working the duplication table?
Not at that board, no.
And so you were one of the few tables where there actually was a Republican there. Approximately how many ballots did you process over the day?
Between all day on Tuesday, Election Day, and all day the day after, plus there was a group that was there Monday, the day before, during the day, and also through the night, election night into the morning. Total, there was 197 ballots.
That's not a lot of ballots.
No, not at all. We did a lot of sitting around.
So clearly other tables were processing tens of thousands of ballots.
Right.
Were those the other Republican tables?
Well, the table that was right behind me, I knew 2 of the people that were at that table. It was a husband and wife, and they were both Republicans. Their table, in that same time span, only processed 7 ballots.
7 ballots in 2 days?
Correct.
So where did all the other ballots get processed?
That's a good question. We saw other tables being very busy, and we even volunteered and said, can we go over there and help them because they're busy? And nope, you have to stay at your own table.
Wow. Well, ma'am, thank you so much for your time and for telling us your story.
You're welcome.
Want to see more videos like this? Visit OANN.com for immediate access to all the clips you've been waiting to see.